Cruise passengers are doing this wrong at every port, and it's costing them. Imagine this. You step off the ship, excited for a perfect day in paradise. The sun is shining, vibrant music is playing, you can smell fresh food from the port market, and everything feels absolutely magical. You've been looking forward to this moment for months, picturing a seamless, stress-free adventure. But then, within minutes, that dream shatters. You're overwhelmed by the noise, confused by the layout, lost in the crowd, or worse. You're spending money you didn't need to spend on a taxi or tour that wasn't what you wanted. Because here's the truth. Most cruisers don't realize until it's too late. There are specific, predictable mistakes passengers make at almost every port, and they're costing people money, safety, time, and their entire port day experience. Today, I'm going to break down the biggest port day mistakes travelers make, the ones I have seen over and over again, from Cozumel to Nassau, from Roatán to St. Thomas, from San Juan to 𝗟̱cia Ríos. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they are the pitfalls that separate a good day from a truly great one. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do the moment your feet hit the pier, so you can avoid the chaos, avoid the scams, and avoid the crowds. I'll give you the simple, actionable plan to find the best local spots and the fairest prices. You'll be able to enjoy the best port days of your life. Let's dive in. Number 1. Walking the wrong direction out of the port. It happens constantly. Most people don't even realize there's a correct exit route. Cruise lines are masters at designing ports that funnel you straight into a purpose-built shopping village. The natural instinct is to follow the crowd, and that's exactly where passengers start going wrong. Take Cozumel, Mexico, for example. If you follow the herd, you're immediately hit with inflated prices at the first taxi zone, the most expensive, tourist-only shops, high-pressure excursion booths, but if you simply walk one block past the main port gates, everything changes. Taxis drop from $20 to $8. The same souvenirs cost 50% less. Restaurants are cheaper and more authentic, and locals treat you better because you've escaped the tourist trap. It's the same issue in Nassau, Amber Cove, Costa Maya, 𝗟̱cia Ríos, and even Falmouth, Jamaica. Passengers walk where the crowd walks, instead of where the value is. Pro tip: before leaving the ship, look at the port map on your app or cabin TV. The non-touristy direction is almost always the smarter one. Look for signs pointing to the local taxi stand or public transportation, not just the main exit. Finding that second taxi zone just outside the official area is your ticket to immediate savings and a more genuine experience. Number 2. Trusting the first taxi driver you meet. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple in Nassau once told me they paid $45 for a ride to a beach that should have been around $15. Why? Because they were tired, excited, and grabbed the first taxi, waving them down right outside the port gates. This happens everywhere. Jamaica, Cozumel, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, and Barbados. Why this happens? Taxi drivers compete for tourists near the pier, and since prices aren't always regulated in these hectic zones, some will quote you a much higher negotiated rate. How to avoid it? Walk past the initial chaos to the official taxi zone. Look for posted price boards. These are your best friend. Agree on the fare before getting in. If you're traveling with others or see another group going your way, ask about a shared ride. This can often cut your cost significantly. Taking a moment to find the official stand can easily save you $20 to $40 per ride, depending on the port. Number 3, booking the wrong excursion type for the weather. This is a port day killer that nobody talks about. If it's raining, snorkeling, jet skis, parasailing, ATV tours, they all instantly drop from amazing adventure to total misery. Real example, Cayman Islands. A group booked a snorkeling excursion, but the waves were rough and visibility was terrible. They spent $120 per person and saw nothing. Meanwhile, people who booked the turtle farm Crystal Caves Dolphin Discovery had a great day because those excursions don't depend on weather. General rule, rain means choose land tours. Windy conditions means avoid snorkeling. Cloudy equals great for hiking or cultural tours. Hot and humid means pick water activities early morning. Number 4, letting sellers escort you just to look. This is an old trick used in multiple ports. Vendors walk beside you saying, "Come, just look, no pressure." But the second you step foot inside, the pressure begins. Common ports where this happens: Jamaica, Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Mexico. Why it works. Tourists feel guilty leaving without buying something. Better approach, smile, wave politely, and keep walking. You save money, stress, and awkward moments. Number 5, not knowing the real time for boarding. This one right here, this is how people miss the ship. Cruise ships operate on ship time, ports operate on local time. And these don't always match. Example, in Cozumel, the local time may be an hour behind ship time. In the Caribbean during daylight savings, same issue. People look at their phone. Their phone switches to local time, and then panic happens. Story example. A couple thought they had an hour left. They actually had 10 minutes. They sprinted back and barely made it. Avoid this by keep your phone on airplane mode, check your ship time on your cabin TV, or ask your cruise director for daily time differences. Number 6, booking excursions. Too far from the port distance is everything. A dangerous mistake, booking a beach 45 minutes away or booking a tour that is 2 hours each way. If something goes wrong with traffic, delays or roadblocks, you are not guaranteed the ship will wait. Risky destinations: Ocho Rios, Belize, Roatán, Antigua, and St. Lucia, safer picks, choose excursions within 15 to 25 minutes of the port, unless they're booked through the cruise line. Number 7, agreeing to prices without checking menus. First, this is huge in Nassau, Jamaica, 𝗂𝗃, and Cozumel. Story example, a family ordered conch fritters and drinks without looking at the menu. The bill came out to $117 for snacks. Always check menus first, especially near beaches. Number 8, choosing the closest beach, the worst one. Here's the secret. The nearest beach is almost never the best beach. Examples. In Cozumel, the closest beach is rocky and crowded. The best beaches are further south. In Nassau, Junkanoo is closest, however, Cabbage Beach is way better. In Jamaica, the closest beach often has aggressive vendors. Better rule, ask taxi drivers. Where do the locals go? You instantly get better food, calmer beaches, and lower prices. Number 9, forgetting to take a photo of the pier and ship location. This is a lifesaver in ports like 𝗂𝗃, Nassau, Cozumel, San Juan, and 𝗟𝗶𝘃. The port layouts can be confusing. Having a photo of the pier, the ship, and the area around the port helps you navigate back with confidence. Number 10, not bringing the essentials on port days. Most forgotten items: photo ID, small bill, $1 bills and $5 bills, phone on airplane mode, reef-safe sunscreen, cash for bathrooms, some ports charge 1, dry bag and local transportation rates list. Having these prevents unexpected costs and problems. Port days are supposed to be the best days of your cruise, but they can also be the most stressful if you don't know what to avoid. Now that you know these real mistakes passengers make at every port, you're already ahead of 90% of cruisers. If you found this video helpful and you want more tips to level up your cruise experience, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the like button, and tell me in the comments which port mistake have you seen the most often. Thank you for watching Forever Diverse Journeys, and I'll see you in the next video.